Hello friends, my name is CHETAN and today we are going to study about CBSE class 9 science chapter number 1 matters in our surrounding. This is part number 3. So we had studied that can matter change its state? Yes, we had studied that solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and we had studied about different names also. The process of converting solid to liquid is called fusion, liquid to gas is vaporization. But what we had not studied, how this process happens, that we had not studied. So now one by one we are going to solve that. So let us start. So you can see there are two ways to achieve this change in states. How? One by changing the temperature and one by changing the pressure. So we are going to study about changing the temperature first and then pressure. First in changing the temperature is melting. So what happens? First you will heat, and then heat will do increase in the temperature, and so the kinetic energy of the particles will increase. So what will happen? The particle will start vibrating with speed, and what will happen? The force of attraction between the particle will slowly decrease, and at a time will come when particles will leave their fixed position and start flowing. So particles will start flowing, and at that time that solid will melt and will be converted into liquid. So this way the whole process of melting happens. Now we are moving towards the definition of melting point. The temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. So if you keep a bowl of ice in your room for 1 hour at room temperature, means atmospheric pressure, at some temperature, slowly the temperature of the ice will go down, and at one point that ice will be converted or will start converting into water. That point is called the melting point of ice. Understand? The process of melting, that is change of solid states into liquid state, is called fusion, that we had already studied. And what is latent heat of fusion? During this whole process, melting process, the ice absorbs some heat. So that heat which is absorbed by ice to convert into water, that heat is called latent heat of fusion. Let me read the definition properly. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. So the amount of heat required by that ice is called latent heat of fusion. Now moving towards freezing. So what happens? First of all, cooling start. Slowly the temperature of that will start decreasing. So what will happen? The kinetic energy of the particles will also start decreasing. Slowly the kinetic energy of that particles will decrease, and then particle stops vibrating with that speed. So speed of that particles will decrease and increase the force of attraction between all the particles, and that particles start moving slowly. If the temperature lowered further, still if you will decrease the temperature, that particles will attract each other with a great force, and then that substance will freeze. So this way, due to the changes in the kinetic energy of particles, that particle will attract each other, and so that will freeze. So this way freezing will happen. Let us move towards the definition of freezing point. The temperature at which a liquid freezes to become a solid at atmospheric pressure is called freezing. So at temperature at which the particles stop moving, you can say, and attract each other and combines, at that time that point will come. That point is called freezing point. And the process of freezing, we know that conversion of liquid to solid will happen, and that is called solidification. This also we had studied in our previous. So here we are ending our part 3, and next we will study in part 4. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel.